with that incredible Paco Cruz jump shot, and they lost by 50 over the weekend in the Spanish League. More on that later. Nymburk taking on Ike in a close one right now. Hapoel Jerusalem going up against Led Kabelis. We got Fuenlabrada against Antwerp, and then Brosa Baskets later on as well. So it's all happening, folks, in the Basketball Champions League. This is game day 2, and here's the Group C standings. That'll be Dijon, in fact, that'll be taking on Brosa Bamberg later. We've got Dijon up at the top, along with Telenet Giants Antwerp, Jerusalem, and Montakit Fuenlabrada, and all occupying those top 4 spots after wins in their opening week. So Telenet Giants Antwerp, it was an impressive win for them last week. I mean, they could have thrown in the towel. I mean, obviously they're not going to throw in the towel, but things got difficult for them. But they won at Let Kabelis 91-87. So they trailed late. They battled back, and they won that game in overtime. They outscored the Lithuanian club 11-7 in that extra period. And remembering some of the stars, well, Dave Dudzinski had 18 points, 9 rebounds for Antwerp. There's the man, Paco Cruz, who hit that thrilling last-second three-pointer after catching the pass in the last seconds on an inbounds play. He was way outside and gave his team a 1-point win at Bamberg. Dan Clark making that pass. But then Fuenlabrada returned home and were beaten like a drum, it has to be said. At home, 110-60 by Baskonia, and Augusti Julbe has been relieved of his duties as coach. So that is the state of affairs at Fuenlabrada. They had the high, then they had the low. For Antwerp, it's more of the high. Because they've started with the win, and they want to keep the momentum going, and they probably feel like right now this is a good time to play this Fuenlabrada team. They started strong last week. They had their moments. They were on the road, and they have to have gained confidence by winning that game on the road. Roland Moore's there, the head coach. Well, the best thing to do to get rid of the bad taste from a defeat like Fuenlabrada suffered to Baskonia is to come out and get a win. They want to come out and make a mark in this Basketball Champions League. Is Marko Popovic, the former Croatia international. They got the players. They just got to put it together tonight. Got Mark Garcia, Tomas Beas, Luka Rupnik, Ian O'Leary. Lucas Nogueira is not playing tonight, he's not dressed out. Dan Clark, Christian Inga, and Talib Zana. We'll talk about the referees here shortly. We'll also take a look at the lineups or the rosters for both of these teams. Zana, the Nigeria international. Paco Cruz, the Mexico international, one of their best players. You could argue he's their best player. Certainly one of the most important players. They've got Gustavo Ayllon, who's probably their headline player, but Ayllon hasn't always played for the national team. Did play in the recent window. So as we look at this roster here for both of these teams, well, I think we're going to look at them. Anyway, referees, we'll take a look at them first. Johan Rosso from France, Tolga Sahin from Italy on the right. Also Marek Chimikiewicz from Poland, the other referee tonight. Okay, so we're just going to go to the starting fives. We got Paris Lee, Deshaun Tate, Hans van Wijn, Dave Jasinski, and Tyler Kalinowski. And that starting five for Telenet Giants Antwerp. And then Roel Moors, the coach, former Belgium international point guard. In fact, played as recently, he was in that Belgium team that played so well at the FIBA Eurobasket 2013 under Eddie Casteels in Slovenia. And for Montakit Fuenlabrada, they're going to start with Popovic, Ian O'Leary, Tomas Beas, Christian Ayinga, and Talib Zana. And coming up will be, to lead this team, it will be Jose Maria Raventos. So he replaces Julbe. And I don't know that that's the long-term appointment. I think it's more of an interim basis, but we shall see. Also assisted by Sergio Jimenez Saif and Ana Montañana, who you might remember from her days as a national team player for Spain's women's team. Ana Montañana, outstanding as a player, and now it's exciting to watch her make her way into coaching and also to do it in the men's game.
Defensively, the first 5 minutes off to set the tone. Okay, don't let them get that speed. They're going to try to come out fired up. Okay, so try to take that away early. Okay, offensively, let's get some rhythm. Read how they play the ball screens. We go 4 up and 4 down. Try not to call it. Try not to call it. Being a 4 down, try to be on the right side so you come out that second. Okay, 4 up to start and then 4 down. Okay, let's go. Let's go, guys. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Win out 3. 1, 2, 3. Win.
Well, that was interesting listening to Roel Moors. You want to start strong against these teams, this Fuenlabrada team. Don't let them come out, play fast, get their confidence. Let's go out and let's be ready from the get-go. Well, folks, it's a very sad week in basketball, but it's also a week to reflect on a lot of the good in the game following the death of FIBA Secretary General and IOC member Patrick Baumann. We're going to have a minute of silence for him in his honor. He passed away at the age of 51 on Saturday in Buenos Aires. With his passion and determination, Patrick Baumann was the leader and advocate of basketball worldwide. He was also instrumental in the creation of the Basketball Champions League with a vision to bring a high level of competition to clubs all across Europe. Very, very sad moment. With minute of silence is at all of the games this week in the Basketball Champions League. Patrick Baumann was a great leader. Not just basketball, but sports. And he will be sadly missed by everybody. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Fuenlabrada. This is just on the outskirts of Madrid, and this is the Basketball Champions League. And it's Telenet Giants Antwerp already going down low to Dujinski, getting an easy look. So worrying start here for Fuenlabrada. And three-pointer. Starting off with Popovic, so that's a good sign for them. Of course, that's how he's earned a living. He is a great, great scorer, always has been. Now Van Wijn loses control. Yinga has it. He's on the break, passes it back outside to Popovic. And Zana takes it, and now they score an easy one. So that will not make Royal Moors happy, and Fuenlabrada, having given away that early basket, now lead at 5-2. Paris Lee. And now double dribble called on Marko Popovic. It's tough to win in this league, folks. Make no mistake about it. You got to come ready to play every time you step onto the court in the Basketball Champions League. Dujinski hits another three. Boy, he's had an impressive start to his Basketball Champions League career, hasn't he? Had that great game last week, and here he is starting off strong tonight. Popovic, and crashing the boards, and getting another look. Ian O'Leary. Here comes number 4, putting the pressure on. Yinga turns, turn around, good. Rattles it in. And Hans Van Wijn, fouled by Yinga. Interesting matchup. Oh, and the dunk by Dujinski. So he is off to a very fast start. That's 7 consecutive points. The former Holy Cross man. Khalid Zana. hits his jump shot. Shows a nice little range there, Zana. So Bayas called for the reach and the foul on Paris Lee. And now the offensive foul called on Pajinski, setting the pick, and then he was getting ready to roll to the basket. Looking for the pass from Kalinowski. And that was Zana's jump shot. Well, Ike won in Group C tonight, 92-89 at Nymburk. So that was a scare for them. They're still playing that game, in fact. So they haven't survived at all yet. It's double overtime. Popovic for three. His second three-pointer of the night. Lee. Kalinowski, tough pass. Tate misses. Kalinowski over to Paris Lee, this time for three. He misses. And Ayenga gets it in the corner. Now he tries to push it, quicken the tempo. Moore's watching. Might he get a timeout? Ayenga goes in, banks it in. It's exactly the type of pace that he was worried about. And now, diving on the floor and forcing the turnover was Rupnik. And this is the type of response that the Fuenlabrada fans wanted to see tonight after their meltdown at home the other day against Baskonia. Rupnik. O'Leary. And this time denied. Dangerous time here for Antwerp. They need to pick up the intensity. And now ball batted out of bounds. It'll still be Antwerp ball with 9 seconds on the shot clock. Paris Lee's pass knocked away. Kalinowski gets it in time. He misses. And now Ayenga. Open floor, goes behind his back. Now decides to go all the way. No, he's going to pass it back out to Popovic. Popovic working against Tate. And now his pass eludes Zana, and Dzezinski able to knock it in bounds. Ooh, looks like Tate may have carried it there. Fun line. Paris Lee blocked by Ayenga. And now the open floor, Rupnik. And Popovic's third three-pointer of the game, 17-7. And Moores calls timeout. And you know he must be thinking of all the players you do not want to leave open. You cannot leave open anywhere. It's that man right there, Popovic.
We don't return. We're gonna go on a guy that's guarded 2 points. You cut. You're in front of him. Why you always give up your position to go behind every single time in the post? On the switch, you gotta follow him first. It's a shooter. He's gonna make 30, believe me. You are open. You missed 2. You missed 2, okay. I don't care. You are open. You make the next one. Come on. Let's go, man. Come on, man. Let's go horn side. Let's get some movement. ¿De acuerdo? Dale. Ey, a Tomás no le ha recibido un balón después de canasta ni uno. Así que ha recibido 2.
See the early shooting numbers, much better for the hosts. And coming right out of the timeout, Jasinski keeps it going. So far, Fuenlabrada 17, Dave Jasinski 10. Ayinga puts up a 3. Kalinowski. Tate has the ball knocked out of his hands. That was Chema Gonzalez that forced that turnover. And now the three-pointer. So Leary comes out firing another 3. And I believe that's 4 3-pointers now for Fuenlabrada in the first 7 minutes of the game. 4 of 6 from deep. Paris Lee. O'Leary. And he draws the foul. He will go to the line. You can see that sense of urgency. No, not too much of a foul by Kalinowski. Seemed like he was on the receiving end of some tough calls last week as well. But you can see the sense of urgency for Fuenlabrada to get out here, get on top, and really try to get the bad taste out of their mouth from their weekend slaughter at home by Baskonia. Leary misses the first attempt. So Leary comes out of the game. Kalinowski fouled while shooting the jumper by Paco Cruz. Paco Cruz in the game, last week's hero. I thought he had a good shot at winning MVP of the week, but that was captured by Norris Cole. That's the shot and the foul. Chopin also in the game, number 13. Remember, Antwerp know they can come back, having trailed last week in difficult circumstances in Lithuania to win that game in overtime. But I think obviously they don't want to have to play comeback basketball every week. And this could be a very difficult task tonight against Fuenlabrada if they dig themselves an early hole. Nice drive and basket. So Jurka gets his first 2 of the game. Kalinowski for 3. Good. Starting to heat up. Sanders also in the game now, number 11 for Antwerp. Here's Paco Cruz, answers with a 3. Had a great season last year. And Paco, remember how he played last week as well. He started really slow, but in the fourth quarter, boy, did he come to life. So Dennis Doncourt also coming into the game. Jurka taking exception to an elbow. Not sure who it was by, but certainly has gone up to every single referee and voiced his concern. And he was called for a technical for complaining. Well, that was not too much, to be honest, to get that kind of reaction. Baco comes out, sets the hard pick. Sanders gets it over to Chopin, who misses. Now here is Baco. He goes up, doesn't go up quite strong enough. Jurka spins. There's Paco Cruz chasing it down. Sanders or Doncourt called for the push. Oh yeah, Sanders shoving off with his right elbow, his right forearm. So the game a little testy, a little niggly here early on. Jurka drives in, doesn't get it, but Gonzalez there for the putback. Chema Gonzalez. Final 45 seconds of the first quarter, and Sanders faked the pass, took it all the way and missed it. 13 points to deficit. Fuenlabrada threatening to open up a huge lead here. Bounce pass, and good save. Good save by Kalinowski. Kalinowski, oh, good dribbling from him. Three-pointer is good from Doncourt. And then right at the buzzer, Cruz, he just wants to save those for the end of the game. So that was an interesting finish. Fuenlabrada much better in this first quarter, but Telenet Giants Antwerp getting a big shot right there at the end to get closer. Some of the highlights. So just double checking. So I didn't actually see the signal made, but it was, yeah, technical foul was called. So the technical foul was called on Alex Yorka for that little altercation that he had with Hans van Wijn. And but they weren't punished, or they were punished rather, because Kalinowski made the free throw. And that three-pointer right at the end from Donkor made it 27-19. So that is where we stand right now. That was a big shot by Donkor. Interesting sequence at the end. Actually, we're up 13, Fuenlabrada. Garcia gets inside, earns a trip to the free throw line. First one is good. And Garcia makes both. There's Sanders. Hands it off. Baco, it's at his feet. He's able to get it and does just get it to Kalinowski, who puts it up from the corner with the shot clock winding down, misses everything. Cruz thought about launching one. Three-point attempt. Garcia no good. And ball goes back over to Antwerp. Yorka hearing the applause for the effort. Cruz picks up the foul. Push called on Cruz. Looks like he's playing pretty good defense there. Popovich comes back in for Cruz. Boy, I tell you, you don't get a break, really, do you? If you play against these guys, Yorker goes to the bench. You know, you have Popovich. He sits down. You bring in Cruz. He sits down. You bring Popovich back in. That's a lot of firepower. Now the miss, and it's Popovich with the ball. Popovich misses. Baco with the rebound. Here's Baco. Oh, a little dipsy-do from Baco. Nice footwork from the big Belgium international center. And now Fuenlabrada stick with it, and Gonzalez gets it up and puts it up and in. Hustle points. Can't give those away if you're Antwerp. Now Baco again, passes it back outside to Sanders. Now Chopin hits the three-pointer. To a 9-point deficit. Brupnik. Guarded closely by Paris Lee. Popovich. They swing it to Clark. Dan Clark. This is with his first three-pointer. Sanders hits a three. And now a nice little comeback for Antwerp. And you wonder if Fuenlabrada might get a timeout. Garcia, nowhere to go, puts it up and still makes the shot. Goodness me. What concentration that was. I think he was thinking he might get a foul called and wanted to make sure he got the ball up so he'd get 2 free throws. Ended up making the shot. Now Sanders. Inside to Chopin, and good defense from Clark. Now Rubnik. Popovic into the corner. Garcia, Mr. Offense, hits another and takes that lead back to 11. So Antwerp got it to within 6 points, and Garcia has come down and made a couple of plays. Paris Lee drives in. Oh, he gets swatted, but the basket is going to count. They would have scored anyway because I think it was Baco came in and put up and in, but you got to appreciate the effort here of Gonzalez. Look, he hustles in. Oh, that was close. Almost had himself a swat. Maybe should have. But Baco was there for the putback anyway. So back to a 9-point lead. It's open with the blocking foul. Pass, Talizana back in, puts it up and in. And nice play by Tate, almost had a chance for a three-point play. And Zana injured because he took the pump fake. In fact, he didn't even take a pump fake. He just went up trying to get the block. And just landed just like he might have gotten hit where it hurts badly. Broken goes to the bench. Tate, another missed free throw. That's the second. You can go back in the game. Down it turns, and Tate with the board. Dribbles between his legs. And Paris Lee with the gets fouled by Rubnik. Sanders turns, gets in the paint, back out to Tate, gets into the lane, goes up, and travels. Good D from Fuenlabrada. Popovic. Back to Zana. The ball bounces over to Paris Lee. Antwerp with a chance, perhaps. Keep this game close. There's Tate. And Tate started to go towards the basket, then whipped the ball over to Sanders, but just the connection wasn't quite there. Popovic. Will it be his 4-3? You betcha! 4 3-pointers in the first half for Marko Popovic. All 12 of his points coming from deep. Sanders off 1 foot. Now Yenga. Clark backs up Dajinski. Good footwork. The finish isn't there for the Great Britain International. Tate hits a 3. And that reminds me, I'll mention, a great piece, great segment on Tate. See the foul called on Sanders. If you go to the championsleague.basketball website, go to news, and then look for the ready for the next step. It's the Deacon Lloyd Smith's Champions League Insider. There's some fascinating insight into Tate. Played at Ohio State. So there's Popovic again, causing all sorts of problems. Kalinowski fouling in there. So Popovic will go to the line. On Tate, it's interesting what is said in the column. If you read the story, the column is titled "Ready for the Next Step." It's the Champions League Insider by Deacon Lloyd Smith. And if you read it, it says at Ohio State, he was often used as an undersized big, playing a lot of minutes at the 4, even being used at the 5. But he's expanding his game here with Antwerp. But what he didn't do there was keep the ball away from Zana, who went up and scored on the putback, and the lead now 13 points. Zana's having himself a nice game. There's Tate. It's not too late for Tate. And Yenga scores. Kalinowski and Dan Clark with the rebound, and again Fuenlabrada threatening to lower the boom here. Popovic for 3, and from Antwerp's standpoint, he picked a good time to miss his first one. Kalinowski into Dajinski. Oh, he gets rejected by Yenga. That's what he's known for. Rupnik. And his pass into the hands of Hans van Wijn. Here's Tate again, going to work on Clark this time. Good balance, and draws the foul as well. So we talk about Tate when he was at Ohio State. I mean, he's undersized right there. Look at that, the rejection. But he did play a lot in that low post. And Clark goes to the bench with his first foul. So Tate does have that aspect of his game. He's comfortable down low. And the three-point play gets it back to a 10-point deficit. So Antwerp, staying within striking distance, but Fuenlabrada keeping the pressure on. And timeout has been called here late in the first half.
Están con bandera, hay que intentar, ya sé que cuesta y tal, pero hay que intentar ir a correr, están con bonus, ¿vale? Si nos vamos para adentro rápido nos van a hacer personal o nos van a dejar tirar, ¿entendido? Bien, necesito que te pongas a defender. Sale el tío con el balón y estás con la mano abajo, métele la mano arriba, no puede tirar, ¿vale? Tú eso lo puedes hacer de sobra, te acercas y si se levanta le metes un gorro. Tie and bounce. Start low. Move up a little bit, but not too high, okay? Get the ball. Dave, you said a back pick for Ty. And you said a stagger for Paris. You said a stagger, but it's a decoy. You're going to attack here. Clark. Okay? Pass it. Wait a little bit. They go for that to attack.
Well, good defense, but foul called on Antwerp. And Van Wijn saying, I got all ball, that can't be on me. There's a little bit of a bump there. Tell you, that's a little bit too arguing for your case, in my opinion, for O'Leary. That's a touch foul, if indeed it was. At least from what I could tell. Maybe he did get hit and I didn't see it. This thing's even out. Tate. Van Wijn. Here's Tate again. Now going up against a smaller O'Leary. Pump fake. And good defense. I think it was Zana that knocked it off the rim. It was either Zana or Yenga. Popovic on the break. And then Tate fouls O'Leary, who came in to get into position. Watch this. So there's Tate, goes to the bench. And learning what it's like to be a pro in Europe, playing for the Buckeyes. And now O'Leary, who played his college basketball at St. Mary's a while back. Back in 2005 to 2009. St. Mary's, where Matthew Dellavedova played. After him, of course. Here's the pass to Dzezinski. Also Pat Mills, in fact. And Dzezinski puts it up and in. Shooter's bounce. Dellavedova and Pat Mills, Australian internationals. A lot of Australians have played at St. Mary's, but O'Leary is an Irish American. Here's a Yenga, gets it inside. I'm not sure if Khalid Zanab went up and got that tap in, or here's Kalinowski, whips it over to Paris Lee. Finally gets one to go. Back to a 10-point game. About a 2-second differential in the game clock and the shot clock. Note, they're going to turn it off, I think. So they'll try to hold it for the last shot. Popovic, guarded by Lee. They're over the limit, so they don't want to pick up another foul. Popovic drives in. and misses with that last attempt. And you can see the frustration, but nevertheless, Fuenlabrada lead it 52-42 over Antwerp. Seven three-pointers for Fuenlabrada, and that is huge. Popovic with 13 points, 12 of those coming from deep. Brzezinski leading the way for Antwerp again. And leading scores all the way around. 7 three-pointers as well for Telenet Giants Antwerp. And several different players making them. So anyway, here's some of the highlights in that first half. Remember, Antwerp both of these teams coming in to it on the back of wins on game day 1. But Fuenlabrada just had a real bad loss over the weekend. Lost by 50 points in the Spanish League, so they're eager to come out and get something positive happening tonight. And they have. Zana's been effective. 10 points, 3 rebounds. Ayenga, he's got 8 points, 5 rebounds, a couple of blocks. And Brzezinski has pretty much, along with Tate, provided most of what Antwerp have gotten. 12 points for Brzezinski and 9 points for Tate. So they've got 21 of their 42 points. They got half of their points. You have to say that really Antwerp need Kalinowski perhaps to get it going like he did last week. Van Wijn has not even attempted a shot yet. Baco hasn't really. He's only had a couple of shots inside the arc. So 52-42, Montakit Fuenlabrada on top of Telenet Giants Antwerp at halftime. And we'll be right back for the start of the third quarter.
Duración de la Semana de la Diversidad Funcional 2018. Telenet.net con música bien. Lunes 22 de octubre a las 6 de la tarde. Compártela con las asociaciones del municipio que trabajan con y para las personas con diversidad funcional. Y disfruta del maravilloso espectáculo del grupo de danza de la asociación Silva. Con
52-42. Montakit Fuenlabrada on top of Telenet Giants Antwerp here at halftime. Well, this is a Fuenlabrada team that came out supremely focused and knowing a win really was imperative. They need to pull out all stops to get a win, a second win in the Basketball Champions League, but more importantly, to bounce back from their demolition over the weekend in the Spanish League when they lost by 50 points. So they've come out and played with a real sense of purpose, but they're only halfway there, and this Antwerp team is a dangerous Antwerp team. Remembering Liet Cabalets last week were up on them late, and they refused to go away. They played the full 40 minutes, forced the overtime. And they would like nothing more than to get another come-from-behind win tonight here in Spain. When they won last week, they actually led 27-17 at the end of the first quarter. But then they were outscored 23-14 by Liet Cabalets in that second quarter. And then Liet Cabalets went up 24-13, or outscored them 24-13 in the third quarter. So they led by, I think it was 15 points. Yeah, they went. They led by as many as 12 points. Liet Cabalets. But Antwerp came back. So don't write these guys off.
But you're always low in the passes. Switch. 23 switch. Vale. Primer ataque, dos lados. Para Paco.
Well, folks, you want to follow all the latest news and information on the Basketball Champions League, go to the championsleague.basketball website or go to the Basketball Champions League app. Put that in your smartphone, and then you've got everything ready to roll. And you'll read about this great competition. You'll read a lot of great columns, news and information, photos, videos. I'll tell you what, they do it right at the championsleague.basketball website. They put a lot of effort into the highlight videos and everything, and it's all done for you and the players, of course. Second half action underway. Paris Lee takes the inbounds pass. Tate, who was pretty impressive in that first half, starts. Van Wijn gets it and just can't quite get it going. Van Wijn tonight hasn't taken a shot, but called for the travel. I think aware they want to get him to go. It was almost as if Yenga pulled the chair out from under him as he tried to back him in there. He can do that at Yenga because he's such a great leaper. He can go up and block shots. He doesn't have to collide with Van Wijn. And Paco Cruz has the ball knocked out of his hands, but it'll be Fuenlabrada ball with 11 seconds on the shot clock. Well, I would have thought that the expectation for Fuenlabrada would be to contend for honors this year. And if they can get a win tonight, that'll put them in a very good mood. They need it for their confidence. We've talked about it, losing badly in the league over the weekend. You know, sometimes another competition can help you get your footing. The worst thing for Fuenlabrada would have been to have to wait for a whole nother week to play another game in Spain. Now at least they can play in Europe and try to put a good performance in. Kaczynski, the rebound, gets it over to Tate. Here's Van Wijn for three, and short, and Zana. I'll tell you, Zana's good. He had 19 points and 10 rebounds last week at Bamberg. He very quietly had a great game. But Paco Cruz, with his heroics, just kind of took all the headlines. Here's a Yenga over to Cruz, and Cruz trying to take some more headlines to that three-pointer. showing some signs of turning it up a notch. Lee drives in. Boy, that was a lightning quick response by Lee. That was a take no prisoners response. Cruz. Now, watch this. Yeah, that was Kalinowski. I think he kind of lunged into him a little bit. Former Davidson Wildcats. One of the great colleges. Boy, you got to be smart to go to Davidson. I'll tell you that right now. Jump shot. And the ball bounced over the head of Paris Lee, but fortunately out of bounds. Davidson, a bastion of higher education. And, of course, Antwerp hoping Kalinowski can bring out some of the smarts here and help them get another win, try to figure this thing out against Fuenlabrada. Now Dzinski. He turns, surrounded, passes it back outside. Paris Lee. Looks like he almost banked that one in. And Yenga with the rebound. Fuenlabrada making, here we go, Yenga drives in. Oh boy, that was big time. I was going to say Fuenlabrada really making life difficult at this end of the floor. Defensively, they've really seemed to have picked it up a notch. I mean, there comes a time, you know what, and I'm going to tell you this right now as you look at Yenga with that brilliant play. There comes a time, especially when you get a ref like Johan Rosso, he'll give you a couple of chances, but if you're going to continue to bark and complain about his calls, he's going to tee you up. Here it is, the pass inside. And the foul has been called. Good pump fake, and Zana did get just kind of lunged into him just a little bit, just like Dzinski did at the other end, or Kalinowski did at the other end. With the Nigeria international, Zana, wonder if he's going to play at the World Cup. Well, he's helped Nigeria qualify, one of the early teams to qualify for the 32-team World Cup in China, to lead Zana. And that is a very, very, very competitive national team to make. And he's got every chance to be there. Alley-oop pass. Oh, O'Leary called it. Now Zana, goodness me, what a great finish by Talib Zana. O'Leary made a potentially embarrassing situation much better by catching the ball and making the pass. Now Tate falls down. Players having a hard time staying on their feet. Kalinowski into Tate. Ooh, he's living dangerously going up against the Yenga. Passes it back outside to Kalinowski for three. But boy, they're having to work hard for that shot, and this time Kalinowski bumps into the player and the referee. And he bounced right up. I mean, this is what you call good refereeing. Look at this. Bam! Falls down. Not a problem. I mean, that is about as smooth as you can make it. That just stayed on his feet. Avoided any unwanted photographs. And alley-oop. Well, Zana turned it into an alley-oop after the pass from Paco Cruz. So it's an 11-point lead for Fuenlabrada. Kalinowski. Van Wijn for three. And after being really having a terrific overall game last week, Van Wijn just simply can't get it going right now. Yenga short, and Zana hustles in there. Paris Lee dives down, hands it off to Kalinowski. And now the charge called on Van Wijn. Sometimes, as a player, it just doesn't work. It doesn't matter how talented you are. Look at this. Tries to step in. I guess in that situation, he's got to stop and pop. Instead, he charged, and he will take a seat and think about it. And a unsportsmanlike foul has been called on Tate. And I think you could tell what Moores thinks about it. Look at this. I'm not understanding that call at all. I'm really not. Sorry. He went past and then he tried to reach. He didn't grab him, so I don't understand that. Yanka makes both free throws. I mean, after all these games, the referees' evaluations will take place. So, if that was the correct call, then that will be praised. And if not, it'll be pointed out that that was one that shouldn't have been made. But that's done to help the continued improvement of the officiating. Here's Paco Cruz, little step back three. Good! Well, it turns out to be a 5-point trip down the floor, and now an unsportsmanlike foul has been called on Fuenlabrada for holding. This game has a kind of a nasty edge to it. Look at Cruz though. How good is he? Bam! So Ian O'Leary has been called for the unsportsmanlike for the hold. So Antwerp with an opportunity, they're trailing by 16. So it hasn't gotten any better since halftime, that's for sure. They will have a chance. Sana gets the applause as he goes to the bench. They'll have a chance to get the 2 free throws and then a potential three-pointer. Okay, here we go. Well, that was perhaps equally difficult on O'Leary, and Tate does not take advantage at all. He misses both free throws. Tate is 2 of 4 at the free throw line tonight. Here's Lee. Oh, what an attempt that was. And then a foul called on Paco Cruz. And a little bit of a trash talking. But Lee is playing tough tonight. Now Gonzalez calls for the foul. That's number 5. So with midway through the quarter, Fuenlabrada are over the limit. And this could be just what they need, a chance to go to the line to score, because they are finding it difficult to score. So Dujinski, just 15 minutes remaining basically in this game. That's plenty of time for Belgium, but they've got to get stops and they got to score. And Fuenlabrada had been terrific on this end of the floor, really making life difficult. Now look at this, they beat him down the floor. And that is Antwerp falling asleep in a big way. Now the turnover, and O'Leary has it off the Bellis, who just hit the breakaway, and now it scores with the runner. So Beas taking the lead up to 18 points. Sanders. Kalinowski over to Dzerzhinsky. And Cruz, alley-oop pass, and O'Leary still can't get it to go. Lee for three, and Bacco there for the rebound. Could have come down with it and then gone up and dunked it, and ended up missing the shot. And it goes to Chema Gonzalez. And the lead now has ballooned to 20 points. So Beas, terrific here in the third quarter.
What the fuck is that?
Uh-oh. Apologies, folks, if you could hear that. Moore's taking his team to task.
We switch everything in the ball screens. We switch everything in the ball screens. Aggressive. Switch everything, okay? Okay. We let them run after a dead ball situation. Afterwards, O'Leary, wide open. I cannot help you there. It's transition. It was the first point on the paper. He read. Let's go. Three up.
Outscoring him 18-8 in the third quarter. I think Royal Moore's the player came out during that timeout. I mean, he was right. You know, I mean, you cannot be at the free throw line taking free throws and then allow the opposition to do this. Look at this. And then this. (70-50). Fuenlabrada on top of Antwerp. Dzerzhinsky. Oh boy, great move from Dzerzhinsky. He played strong. He had players running at him. Great strength there to get it back to 18. He's got 17 points, but his team's trailing by 18. 13 minutes, almost at the 13-minute mark in this game. Yorka. Now the ball almost turned over. Yorka has it into the corner. And the putback is good. O'Leary stuck with it. They just seem a step faster tonight. Fuenlabrada. Kalinowski misses. Bacco again. Yeah, I think they got that right. I think that is Fuenlabrada ball. Good play by Bacco, couldn't quite get it. Now Cruz gets it up to Rudnick. And it's 22-point lead. Popovic getting ready to come back into the game. Rudnick with a push. I mean, that play right there symbolizes the way this game has gone for Fuenlabrada. I mean, even though they had the foul called on them, they are making themselves a real nuisance against this Antwerp team. They are not allowing them to feel comfortable in the slightest on any trip down the floor. And then you have this, Dunkor missing a free throw. That's the type of night that it's been tonight for Antwerp. Clark. Sanders hands it off to Tate, and then Popovic knocks it out of his hands. Rupnik back to Popovic for three. You would think that if the game gets a little bit crazy, that would perhaps be a chance for Antwerp. Chopin boxing out down low, asking for the ball. Dunkor puts up a long jumper. Popovic sinks the first one. Well, it just hasn't gone right tonight for this for the visitors from the Low Countries. Popovic, all 36 years old of him, 1.85 meters in height, 6 feet 1 inches. Has come out and done it again tonight. He's got 15 points. Didn't have quite as good a game last week. Tate turns, goes up strong and scores. Dunkor called for the block, so free throws coming now with 48.8 seconds remaining. In the third quarter. Rupnik hasn't scored a lot tonight, but you know he's been part of that intense defense from Fuenlabrada. Got 4 points now. And just Roy Morris just must feel like taking off his jacket and throwing it to the ground, seeing this free throws not go in. Just looking at that on the night. 9 of 16 from the charity stripe. Antwerp. Just 56%. Popovic rather, drives in, whips it to Clark on the left, and ball goes in and out. Tate, nice move over to Dunkor. Sanders for three. So that's how the quarter finishes. Whoa, I'm not sure if that would have counted or not. So it's 78-59, Montakit Fuenlabrada on top of Telenet Giants Antwerp. 10 minutes remaining. Well, Fuenlabrada's number is obviously much better in every respect, even the rebounds, the steals, the blocks. Fourth quarter action underway, and coming right out is Yorka. So Fuenlabrada just going to keep the pressure on. Just seemed to be a step faster. Look at Yorka going down the court. The bounce pass to Rudnick. Couldn't quite finish it. Now Tate. And Clark hustles back to knock it out of bounds. And the drive. And Yorka called for the foul on Chopin. So they're discussing something here at midcourt. And right now, with 9:19 remaining, there's time for Fuenlabrada to implode or perhaps take their foot off the pedal, and for Antwerp to sneak their way back into this game. So double checking to see if if that's the second technical on Yorka, then he's gone, because he picked up one earlier in the night. Azili comes into the game, number 20. I think Yorka has had to leave the game because he's picked up 2 techs. Sanders dribbles, puts it up, gets rejected. No, he passes it to Baco. And Tate And Antwerp stay with it, and Tate puts it up and in. That's all they can do right now is keep battling. Puts it back to 18 points. Clark gets in. And now they're tied up, Gonzalez and Sanders. So a little bit of fight being shown here by Antwerp. Jasinski comes back in for Bako. Bako, interestingly, the Belgium internationals, Bako and Hans van Wijn tonight, have really struggled to get anything going in this game. So there's Popovic drives in, and that was one of those, just in case you were thinking of making a comeback. Take this! And takes it back to a 20-point lead. And that time, Jasinski thought he could sneak one up and in with an alley-oop. Rupnik. And Rupnik takes it up now to a 22-point lead. Tate from deep. Garcia. Clark couldn't quite get it. Clark looks a bit tired tonight. Three-pointer from Sanders. Back to 19 points. Rubnik in low to Chemo Gonzalez, and a foul call before the shot. Akiazili guilty of the infraction. So Popovic out, and Paco Cruz back in. Look at Popovic. A lot of great games as well for Croatia's national team. Rupnik. Bounce pass. Well, they just made that look easy, didn't they, with Garcia cutting into the lane. And Rupnik steps in front of Akiazili, forces a turnover. And Rupnik, all he did was slide his feet over in front of the young Antwerp player. Slovenia international, Rubnik. Three-pointer is good. So Garcia has certainly got the offense to come out and help this Fuenlabrada team. Rubnik was in that Slovenia team at the Eurobasket in 2015 that finished 12th, and also 2011 that finished 7th. Sanders, another three-pointer for him. That's a very quiet 4-4 night from three-point range from him. I'm guessing he would rather his 3-of-3 night from, or 4-4 night from deep contribute to a win. As it is right now, it's just trying to help that scoreline look better. Now Rupnik takes it away again. And Garcia, I think, decided instead of diving over the advertising hoarding and risk injury, just decided to throw it back out there. Here's Luka Rupnik. He takes a seat. Well, I guess, you know, when you're on the receiving end of a beatdown the way that they were the other day in the Spanish league, you know, it almost challenges your manhood. And the way they've come out tonight is that they wanted to prove to these fans that that was a blip. Look at Chima Gonzalez going for the ball. Foul called on Jasinski. Gonzalez hustling after that ball when his team's up by 21 points. No, it actually wasn't a foul. They just ruled that it was possession, so sorry about that graphic, folks. Here's Sanders. Drives in, turns it over. Clark. And Gonzalez couldn't finish. Chopin. Jasinski going for it. Sanders again. Jasinski just decides to put it back up and in. Jasinski comes out of this game with some credit for me. I mean, he's definitely got, yeah, he has coped well with everything that Fuenlabrada have had tonight, in my opinion. But one man cannot beat a team. Cannot beat a team the way Fuenlabrada is playing tonight, especially. Gonzalez turns, gets in the lane. Akiasili misses, and Chopin comes in for the follow. So Clark picks up the foul there. Jasinski goes out of the game. Might be it for him tonight. Cruz. Oh, putting on a clinic and drawing the foul. Drawing the foul from Niels de Ridder. Open from the left. That's good, that three-pointer. 89-75. Cruz. Oh, just snuck in there and put it up and in. Just weaved his way into that low post area. Rattling it in was Akiasili. .13-point deficit. Might wonder if Moore's, well, Talib Zana, Fuenlabrada, you feel like they're comfortably ahead, yet they haven't slammed the door shut. Crazier things that have happened in basketball. Niels de Ridder trying to play some D on Talib Zana. Oh, good D from Antwerp. Now Cruz gets it back. Oh, that's the rebound they needed. They didn't get it. Garcia took the offensive rebound and scored with a putback. Any more now, they will be over the limit. Fuenlabrada. Actually tried to sneak one up there quickly. And there's Paco Cruz, scores again. He just puts the ball in the basket. I mean, he just is not going to finish the game without getting his share of points. That's for sure. And de Ridder fouled him, so he goes to the line for an N1. 13 points. It appears no buzzer-beating three-pointer will be required of him tonight. He's got 14. He spells his name Paco, P-A-K-O, by the way, in case you ever meet him on the street. It's important that you know, or if you have to write a story about him. It's not P-A-C-O, but P-A-K-O. His real name's Francisco Cruz. Well, Sanders showing off his dribbling skills, but then loses it out of bounds. Milcourt coming back into the game. Garcia brings a little bit of rain, but doesn't make the shot. Paco Cruz was born in Nogales, Mexico, October 3rd, 1989. So he only just had his birthday. 29th birthday. Well, in Group C tonight, we saw Ike Athens win a thriller, 94-93 over Nymburk. A game that went to double overtime. That's the second double overtime game already in the Basketball Champions League. Greece international Giannoulis Larentzakis had 23 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals for the defending champions. So congratulations to them. And for Nymburk, they've had a worrying start. They're off to an 0-2 start in this group. This is in Group C, and Fuenlabrada about to improve to 2-0. Antwerp about to drop to 1-1. And as a reminder, tomorrow, Bamberg will be at home to Dijon. Also, Jerusalem won tonight over Led Kabalis, 81-67. So the final seconds ticking off the clock. Akashvili hits a three-pointer to make that scoreline look a little bit better for Antwerp. But it's not enough Fuenlabrada win it over Antwerp 96-84 here in Group C of the Basketball Champions League on game day 2. 96-84. Montakit Fuenlabrada over Telenet Giants Antwerp. Well, Fuenlabrada didn't hit as many threes as Antwerp in the end. Gosh, Antwerp 16 3-pointers, but that spared their blushes a little bit. 15 turnovers for Antwerp. Great bounce-back game for the team in red tonight. They've improved to 2-0 in the Basketball Champions League. They're coming off a hard loss and a hard start in the Spanish League. And leading scorer Popovic. Zana had the 6 rebounds. Cruz had the 2 steals. Garcia had 14. Paco Cruz had 14. Jasinski had a game-high 19 in defeat. So the long trip from Belgium was a disappointing one for those fans, although I'm sure they're having a good time in Spain. And for those good folk of Fuenlabrada that live here and will only have probably a 10-15 minute drive back home, they're all smiles. And this is why. They just seem to beat the Belgian team to the loose balls, on the fast breaks. And Sanders came out and gave him a little bit of offense, but the game was pretty much already gone, and they were just quicker to the basket. Yeah, great game from Marko Popovic. Rupnik brought a lot of energy tonight. Look at that. He was shaking and baking. So next week, talking about trying to build on a performance, these two teams will be back in action. And I'm going to tell you who they're going to play next week. So next Wednesday, Antwerp will be at home for the first time, and they have not got an easy game at all. They will play Hapoel Bank Yahab Jerusalem. And Montakit Fuenlabrada will hit the road again, and they will play at Dijon in France. So that could be an interesting game. That could be a battle of unbeatens depending on what happens with Dijon this week. This was Cruz. Nice footwork. How about a word about Talib Zana? He's been tough so far. He's been perhaps one of the unsung heroes for Fuenlabrada. 12 points tonight, 6 rebounds in 21 minutes. He played well last week as well. So that's it, folks. 96-84. Montakit win it over Telenet Giants Antwerp.